What's going on, y'all? My name's Joltage, and today I'm going to be bringing you my series versus Kingmidas for LC Tour 2015. I actually just finished up this series about a half hour or so ago. And yeah, let's get into it. We decided to play DPP first, and yeah. So I'm lead Machop, as he's lead Houndour. First turn I just decided I'm gonna dynamic punch at see Fire Blast. If I was Oranberry, that would have really turned out bad for him, but unfortunately for him, I'm the Lung. And he hits himself in Confusion next turn, so that's really cool. Machop's alive to potentially bullet punch something next turn. But unfortunately, we've got the Talo out here. Talo's able to quick attack my Machop and kill it off. And Talo's actually really threatening for my team because I don't have anything faster than it. Naturally, I have a speed tie with it, but Talo's really scary. So I have to go out to my bird resist, being Bronzor, as Talo's just going to U-turn out and do an ass load to Bronzor. I'm going to set up my rocks as he goes into his Munchlax. I don't want my Bronzor to take this incoming Fire Punch, so I switch out into my Munchlax, Thick Fat, and just decide to chunk his Munchlax by going for a turn. Respectable damage that was, but his does a lot. His does more, annoyingly. And I'm gonna stay in for risking the speed tie again as he switches out to his Gligar. Pop that thing's Berry Juice, which is really nice. Now I go out to my Bronzor, which is my Gligar counter, as he Aqua Tails, maybe expecting my Gligar. I'm gonna go for the HP Ice here as he goes out into his Munchlax. Pretty good play on his part. And then I'm going to switch out my Munchlax and sack it to this return. From here, I'm going to go out to my Gligar and just kill this Munchlax off. He decides to leave it in, and he told me after the match that he thought my Gligar was scarfed, so he went out to his Gligar here, but he wanted to make sure that my Gligar was scarfed because my Aqua Tail would kill him from this range. So I just, and my Berry Juice my Oranberry hadn't popped yet, so he's going to make the good play by scouting for that, by switching into his Krogunk. On my Aqua Tail, Krogunk's going to get healed by that, literally, and he's going to go for the Fake Out. Now, if you don't know, Krogunk in DPP ran Life Orb, Ice Punch, Fake Out, Sucker Punch, and Vacuum Wave as it's set, so I'm just going to let my Gligar take this Fake Out. I beat Krogunk 1v1 with Earthquake, so I'm just going to go for that here. Don't want to mess around with any predictions here. As he decides to go back and do his Gligar on my Earthquake, I decide now I don't really want to risk the speed tie, so I switch out to my Bronzor as he misses Aqua Tail. Kind of unfortunate for him, I guess. He decides to roost up as I click Psychic, maybe predicting him to switch out to a Krogunk, maybe. I don't know. And this turn he sets up its rocks as I decide to just HP Ice and kill the Gligar. So I'm in a pretty decent position right now. On the scoreboard, at least. I don't have a switch into this Ghastly that he brings out, so I just have to let my Bronzor die there. Ghastly's pretty threatening, but I can revenge with Gligar. And I just decided to go to the Stone Edge, but I miss, as Stone Edge is known to do. Now this was actually pretty large IMO because he's able to boom on me and take out my Gligar. My Gligar was super threatening to his team. It beat Krogunk and it at least sped out with Talo. I'm not sure if I'm taking a Facade because Talo is strong as shit, but I could potentially win a speed tie or whatever, and just Gligar was really good against his team, but now I don't have that anymore, and I'm in a really bad position. Like I said, Talo outspeeds everything. My last two were Chinchou and my own Ghastly. Chinchou's not taking a Facade, and Ghastly's not taking anything. So it's really bad. I just kind of lose to Talo at this point. But I have to go out to Chinchou here, expecting him to be, hoping he's going to believe that I'm scarfed, and he does believe I'm scarfed. Bluff, the bluff worked there, and I'm able to T-bolt it and kill it. He goes out to his Krogunk, and he's just going to go right for the Vacuum Wave to take me out. Um, so I'm gonna go out to Ghastly, and I know he has Sucker Punch, so this is gonna be a game of Sucker Punch mind games. I decide I'm gonna sub, as he decides to Ice Punch. My bad. And I decide to sub again next turn as he Ice Punches again. I'm not giving up. I'm subbing a third time as he Ice Punches a third time. Now this time he took a little bit of time before clicking Sucker Punch, but I sub, and I'm at 1 HP, and now here I'm an idiot. Alright, I could have clicked Shadow Ball, which kills Krogunk at this range. It kills Krogunk from full. Life Orb Shadow Ball does. And just won the game. Krogunk would have went down before Life Orb recoil took me out, and we would have been fine. But I didn't realize the DPP mechanics super well, and I decided that I'd rather finish the game off with an explosion, because I thought I'd won it either way. And I love DPP explosion. It just kills everything. It's just a really fun move, IMO. So I love clicking it whenever I can. And I clicked it here, which leads to me losing the game, thanks to the fact that my Ghastly went down before his Krogunk. So that's really unfortunate. I should have won that game, but I was a dumb shit and clicked the wrong move. That's all there is to say, really. It's really unfortunate for me, I guess, but it is what it is. Anyway, so next we decided to move into ORAS. Like I said in my video where I covered my series versus Madoka, I'm not super confident in my BW, as I'm not really experienced in that tier. So I decided to go for ORAS, and team preview, we have pretty similar teams. We have nice Fairy plus Pharaoh Seed plus Drober plus Water type plus Fighting type, and then last Mon. It's real. I thought the teams looked really similar. Awesomely, I think his Archon is Tailwind, actually, now that I think about it. It didn't come into play at all, but I think that it is Tailwind, because I've seen, every time I see Scrope and Bansham on the same team, it tends to be a Tailwind team for some reason. But it's awesome that he has Scrope, because I have the one true Scrope counter in the game in Frillish over here. Even Scrope running T-Bolt doesn't do that much, because Frillish is stupid bulky, especially. So that's really cool. I decide that I think he's either going to lead Drober or Pharaohseed here. I assume he's Eviolite Drober at this point. Anyway, so I decide I don't really have a great lead, and I'm just going to lead with my Timber. He leads Pancham, surprisingly, and I want this thing knocked off ASAP. That way Pawn can kind of just hurt it real bad later, and just it's a lot less bulky without an Eviolite. So I decided to go for a knockoff. Is he SD's turn 1? I don't know where he thought he was. This isn't low ladder. You don't just set up turn 1 on somebody. Technically, it did have some potential to sweep, especially if it was gunk shot. It kind of killed everything, but Drober may have been able to revenge depending on how low it was. But after the knockoff, I decided to Drain Punch this turn. As he Drain Punches, that does over half, but my Drain Punch is going to happen next turn, and I get the low roll there, like the lowest possible roll. There's like 3 rolls. There's like 3 of them that are that roll, like 3 chances to be that roll. So I get the low roll there, so he thinks he's safe to stay in and just click Drain Punch again. The fact that I Drain Punch second means that his Drain Punch won't KO me this turn either. But he decides to Swords Dance again as I get the mid roll, the most common roll between these two. And cool, because my Timber is really healthy, and I just get to knock punch to take out this Pancham, setting up turn 1. These are jokes, obviously, but yeah. Now he goes out to scrub. My Timber can't really handle scrub. Like it doesn't really want to be dealing with scrub. And plus, I have the one true scrub counter in the game, so I go out to that as he sets up a toxic spike, and I decide I'm gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp. I'm Willow Hex Frillish, and yeah, just be really nice. Nothing on his team is really gonna appreciate the residual, and yeah. So I go out, so I miss the Will-O-Wisp, and that actually is gonna prove to be really pivotal. This Ferroseed avoids all of that residual damage that it avoids by dodging that Will-O-Wisp. It avoids a lot of residual damage over the rest of the match, and I think it comes down. I think it ends up being the difference between who wins this game. Spoilers, I lose. But I think if I hit that Will-O-Wisp, I would have been really... I think I could have won it. And I still almost won it, because Frillish actually just matches up super well. It walls most of his team, especially with Pancham gone. Like, this is the only thing... Ferroseed's the only thing it doesn't really do super well against, and if it's burned, I can recover off 3-hit bullet seeds. So yeah, plus plus the hex would do a lot, and yeah, it just would have been real nice all around. But anyway, I have to get out of there, and I decide to go into my Timber. Timber's gonna get his guts as Ferroseed's gonna knock him off. So I'm just gonna go for the knockoff myself on the incoming Snubble. It's a crit. It was Berry Juice Snubble, so Thief is definitely a possibility. I decided to go out to my Ferroseed though, as he misses Play Rough. He didn't want to play around with the Timber, and he goes for Fire Punch. I felt like Fire Punch Snubble was like, I didn't think about it while playing, but after I got hit with the Fire Punch, I looked at his team and I decided it really made a lot of sense for it to be Fire Punch Snubble. Anyway, so Ferroseed's really hurt now, as I decide to go for the T-Wave. I was expecting a switch, as I said. I didn't think about the possibility of Fire Punch, and I decided I'd rather just like sack it there, so I decided to get up a Spike. And here I decided to save Ferroseed for fodder later, because again, I have the best scrub counter in the game, even if it is poisoned. So I decided to go out to Frillish, and click Will-O-Wisp again as he stays in this time. Hits me with the Sludge Wave, which does absolutely nothing, but it does do enough to make me want to have to recover next turn. And he gets a free switch into Ferroseed. It's gonna become an ongoing theme of this match, actually. But I decided to go up to Timber and Bullet Seed with the EVO. With the plus the poison is gonna take that out. That was massive. If I hadn't lost Timber there, I felt like I would have been in a just far stronger position than I ended up being in. It was like my best way of hitting a Ferroseed at that point, so losing that was unfortunate. Again, though, if the Ferroseed hadn't dodged the burn, I don't mean to sound salty either. I mean, it happens in Pokemon. But again, if the Ferroseed hadn't dodged the burn, my Timber wouldn't have gone down there. And yeah, just would have been nice, and I would have been able to fire off a Drain Punch that turn pretty much for free. But I mean, shit happens. So my Timber goes down. It's really unfortunate. I don't really know what I'm gonna do now. I decide that I need this Ferroseed knocked off ASAP. So I decide I need this Ferroseed knocked off ASAP. So I go into my own Ferroseed. I lose the speed tie, I thought. Kingmidas says in the chat that his Ferroseed has speed creep XD, so I don't know. So I decided to go out to my Scarf Pond and just click knockoff. I 2-hit KO this Archon. Now, as he goes into Drillbur, the fact that he went to like Drillbur over... Yeah, the fact that he went to Drillbur made me question this set. I wasn't sure what it was. But either way, I didn't want to stay in there, so I decided to switch out into my Spritzy. Spritzy with the Toxic Spike is not going to be able to handle this Drober, as I couldn't even wish stall, so I let my wish die. That was a bit of bad play by me. I probably could have switched out to Frillish, but Spritzy wasn't really doing much anyway. So he switches in his Scrope as I go for the Will-O-Wisp there. That was a pretty decent play. Scrope isn't touching Frillish, so I expect him to double out here and go for the Will-O-Wisp again. But he stays in. Pretty good read on his part. I need to recover at this point, so he gets another free switch into his Ferroseed. I can't stay in here because I still need Frillish to check Scrope and Drober, so I have to switch out to my Pawniard. I was really fearing the Thunder Wave, but I had no other play here. So I just decided I'm going to go for the knockoff again. He switches in his Snubble there. And, yeah. So here I don't really have a play. Other than to, like, I spent a little bit of time calculating to see what could happen. Basically, if I switch Frillish in, Frillish is 2-hit KO'd by this Drober. So I need to just I need to just hope it's not Scarf, basically. But I also decide that Drober's not really doing too much. I can beat Scrope with Frillish, so switch out to that. Because all I need to do is really get Frillish in safely here. Go out into my Frillish here, and I click Scald, I think. Yeah, I click Scald there, hoping it would stay in or something, or if he did go up to Ferroseed, it would burn it. And Scrope's really chunked now. He goes out into Ferroseed as I click Recover, expecting him to stay in as he had been, so his play earlier is really coming through for him. I have to switch out here into Pawniard. Pawniard's going to take this Bullet Seed, and I decide that he had a free Scrope sack available to him, so I decided to double out into my Frillish here, which ended up working out for me. Unfortunately, I was a pussy next turn and didn't Will-O-Wisp. Instead, I recovered. If I would have Will-O-Wisp there and hit, of course. Ferroseeds have a tendency to dodge Will-O-Wisp from me, but in hit, that would have been a really good position. He decides to set up spikes here. He actually probably determined that he needed these spikes for his Drober to kill my Frillish anyway. But so at this point I can't switch in Frillish. I take out Scrope upon here. At this point I can't switch in Frillish to Drober. I need to have it come in for free on it, because I'm gonna live one hit versus it, but I can't just I can't avoid a 2-hit KO without clicking Recover. So I have to just let Pawn die. If this is a Scarf drill, I just have to basically hope it's not. But it is. Scarf Drober you don't really see a whole lot these days, so but it's definitely proving why it's a solid option here. So I go up to Frillish and I click Recover, because I needed to recover off to have a shot at beating Drober. I go for the Wisp. Like, it's a salt. The fact that I missed again is just kind of salt in the wound. Though technically my better play, looking back after, like, that's just kind of salt in the wound at this point. But technically looking back, my better play was to just Hex, as I see Hex just killed Ferroseed there. So if I would have hexed, I would have been at what would I have been at? I would have been at 80. I would have been at 76% after that turn. So like I would have been able to I would have been able to live the Drober's hit and then just scald for the win, but I didn't realize that. That's what I get for not calking both times. That's the second time not calking really bit me in the ass this series, but live and learn, I guess. I've got other tours to win, but I mean to come back at it, but I mean it happens. Congrats to Cam. Good luck in the finals versus Haysup. And yeah, we actually pairings just went out for the LC Invitational / Championships, and we actually have to play each other in that round 1. So I look forward to that. That's gonna be a best of 3 ORAS series. So look forward to that, playing you there. And yeah. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment if you have any thoughts you need to share with me. Definitely a learning experience for me. And yeah, so yeah, I'll see you next time with more LC content. And yeah, have a great day. Bye.